Hello out there. Here we are, wrapping up 16th week of Love 52. We talk about love, we simplify love, and we focus on spreading love, sharing love, giving love. And that's what we've been doing 16 weeks. It's Saturday of the 16th week. So we've been talking this week about loving the people who are in our lives directly, right? Immediately in our lives. Romantic partner, the one I'm romantically involved with. How do I love that person? Family, who I'm not romantically involved with. What does that look like to give love? Friends, loving them. People I acquaint with, whether it's at work or at the grocery store, you got some examples. Loving people on the freeway, loving people who we encounter. That's what we've been talking about. And today we're going to wrap it up with the hardest one, which is how do we love people who we don't like, right? You might identify some people in your life as being enemies. You might identify people who you hate or groups of people you hate. There's so many messages out there about loving everybody. So how do you love them? Well, I think that it starts in the brain, and it's mostly up here in our thoughts. You've heard in the other times that loving someone begins by identifying the person that I'm going to love as being important, as being significant and valuable. Now, when we think of the one I'm romantically involved with, when I think of my wife, yes, she is important to me. She's important, period. Yes, she is important to me also. She is a very valuable, significant individual, period. And she is that to me. But it doesn't begin with identifying she is that to me. It begins with identifying and realizing, recognizing that she is an important individual. Then we get to family members. They are important, significant individuals. And to me. Friends are important individuals, and to me, right? You get the point? Acquaintances. They are important individual, but maybe not so much to me. But love begins by identifying that they are important. At the grocery store, the gentleman who let us all pass. We're not important to him, but maybe he just realized we are all important individuals, because we all are. Every one of us, including the people we don't like. They're just not important to you personally in your life, but loving them, spreading love. Maybe you don't want to think of loving them directly. Spreading love amongst them begins with identifying, recognizing, and realizing that though we might see differently, though they may have even hurt me, they are still an important individual. That's tough. That's tough to do. You know, we'll talk in a few weeks about resentment. And resentment makes it very difficult to spread love to people we don't like. Holding a grudge almost interferes with your ability to actually spread love and share love with those individuals. If you hate them, I don't know if you can love them at the same time. If you have a grudge and resentment towards them, I don't know if you can give them love. I think it interferes. So, learning to forgive, we'll get there. That's part of loving. But maybe today the only step is to realize that even though you don't like them, part of loving them is to realize or to say in your mind, you don't need to tell them, but to be able to recognize and in your mind say, they are an important individual. That's where loving your enemy begins. Or loving people you don't like. That's where it begins. Being able to recognize they're still an important individual. All right, we'll talk more More when we get into talking resentment and forgiveness. You know, we'll come back to this about loving your enemy, you know. And maybe we'll talk about changing labels or getting rid of labels. That helps. All right. Spread love. Love people in your life. Love people you run into. Spread love. Love yourself. And we'll talk in a couple days. Take care. Bye.